Hello everyone and welcome back to our English learning channel. How are you today? I hope you are doing well. Today's lesson is very special because we are going to learn English through a motivational story and lesson. The topic is the art of worrying less. We will learn how to stop worrying too much, how to feel calmer, and at the same time, we will improve your English vocabulary, listening, and comprehension. This video is perfect for beginner, intermediate, and even advanced learners. So if you are A1, A2, B1, or even B2 level, don't worry. This lesson is for you. Here is what you will get today. A long motivational story told in clear English. Useful vocabulary words and phrases with explanations. Comprehension questions to check your understanding, real life and cultural connections. And finally, a motivational message to inspire you to worry less. So sit down, relax, maybe get a notebook and pen, and let's begin. Storytelling section, Chapter 1. The Worried Student. Our story begins with a young man named Daniel. Daniel is 23 years old. He lives in a small town, and he studies at the university. Every day, Daniel wakes up early in the morning. He makes a cup of tea, sits at his desk, and opens his laptop. He wants to study English because he dreams of traveling abroad. But there is one problem. Daniel worries too much. He thinks, what if my English is not good enough? What if people laugh at me when I speak? What if I fail my exams? These worries are like heavy stones in his mind. Sometimes he feels so nervous that he cannot even concentrate on his studies. One day, Daniel's best friend Maya comes to visit him. She says, "Daniel, why are you always so serious? You look worried all the time." Daniel replies, "Maya, I cannot stop worrying. I worry about my English, my exams, my future, my job, everything." Maya smiles and says, "Don't worry so much. Worrying will not change the future, but learning, practicing, and living in the present will." These words make Daniel think. Could it really be possible to worry less? Vocabulary explanations, Chapter 1. Worry, verb Dutch noun, to feel nervous or afraid about something. Example, I worry about my exams. Her main worry is money. Concentrate, verb, to give all your attention to something. Example, it is hard to concentrate when you are worried. Nervous, adjective, feeling worried, afraid, or excited. Example, he feels nervous before a job interview. Future, noun, the time after now. Example, I am thinking about my future. Change, verb, to make something different. Example, you cannot change the past, but you can change your attitude. Comprehension. Questions. Chapter 1. What is Daniel worried about? Who visits Daniel, and what advice does she give him? Why is it difficult for Daniel to concentrate? Cultural, real-life connection. Many people, especially students, feel like Daniel. In many cultures, worrying about the future, exams, or jobs is very common. But remember, worrying does not help. Action and practice help. Just like when you study English, if you only worry about speaking, you will never improve. But if you practice, you will get better step by step. Interactive question. Do you worry a lot about your future or about learning English? Tell me in the comments. Chapter 2. The walk in the park. The next day, Daniel decides to go for a walk in the park to clear his mind. The weather is sunny, birds are singing, and children are playing. As he walks, he sees an old man sitting on a bench feeding the pigeons. The old man looks very peaceful. Daniel sits next to him and says, "Excuse me, sir, can I ask you something? How do you stay so calm? You look like you have no worries." The old man laughs softly and replies, "My boy, I used to worry all the time. But then I realized most of the things I worried about never actually happened." Daniel is surprised. "Really?" he asks. The old man nods and says, "Yes, research shows that about 85% of our worries never come true, and the small percentage that does happen is usually not as bad as we imagined. So why waste time worrying?" Daniel thinks about this. Maybe his worries are not as real as he believes. Vocabulary explanations, Chapter 2. Peaceful, adjective, calm, quiet, without stress. Example, the park is a peaceful place. Bench, noun, a long seat for several people often found in parks. Example, they sat on a bench by the lake. Feed, verb, to give food to someone or something. Example, she feeds her cat every morning. Actually, adverb, in reality, really. Example, I thought it was difficult, but actually it was easy. Waste, verb, to use time or resources in a useless way. Example, don't waste time worrying. Do something useful. Comprehension questions, Chapter 2. Who does Daniel meet in the park? What does the old man say about worries? According to research, how many worries never come true? In many cultures, older people often share wisdom with younger generations. They remind us that life is short and worrying takes away our happiness. This is a universal truth. You can see it in English proverbs like, don't cry over spilt milk, meaning don't worry about something that already happened. Interactive question. Do you know a proverb in your language about worrying less? Share it in the comments. Chapter 3. The lesson from a teacher. Later that week, Daniel goes to his English class. His teacher, Ms. Carter, notices that Daniel looks more relaxed than before. She asks, Daniel, you seem happier today. What happened? Daniel explains about the old man in the park and the lesson he learned. Ms. Carter smiles and says, that is a very important lesson, Daniel. In English, we have another saying. Worrying is like a rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. The whole class laughs because it is true. A rocking chair moves back and forth, but it never moves forward. Daniel realizes, if he wants to improve his English and his life, he must spend less time worrying and more time practicing. Vocabulary, explanations, Chapter 3. Relaxed, adjective. Calm, not worried. Example, she looked relaxed after the holiday. Explain, verb, to describe something clearly. Example, can you explain this word to me? Saying noun, a common phrase or expression. Example, there is a saying, time is money. Rocking chair, noun, a chair that moves back and forth. Example, my grandmother sits in a rocking chair. Move forward, phrase, to make progress. Example, if you study every day, you will move forward in English. Comprehension questions, Chapter 3. What saying does Ms. Carter share with the class? Why is worrying compared to a rocking chair? What decision does Daniel make after this lesson? Cultural, real-life connection. The saying about the rocking chair is very popular in English-speaking countries. It is often used to remind people that action is more powerful than worry. Instead of worrying about speaking English perfectly, try to speak with small mistakes. That is how you learn. Interactive question. Have you ever wasted time worrying about something instead of taking action? What happened? Motivational message, my friends, remember this. Life is too short to spend it worrying about every little thing. Most of the things you worry about will never happen. And if they do, you will be stronger than you think. Learning English is the same. Don't worry about making mistakes. Don't worry about being perfect. Focus on practice, enjoy the journey, and trust yourself. Worry less, live more, and keep learning step by step. Thank you for watching today's lesson on the art of worrying less. I hope you learned new vocabulary, enjoyed the story, and felt inspired. Now I want to hear from you. Tell me in the comments, what do you usually worry about? How do you try to worry less? If you liked this video, please give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel, and share it with a friend who also wants to learn English and feel motivated. Remember, don't worry too much. Keep smiling, keep practicing, and keep improving your English every day. See you in the next video. Bye for now. A few weeks later, it is time for Daniel's big English exam. The night before, he feels a little nervous. But this time, he remembers the old man's words. Most worries never come true. Instead of staying up all night worrying, Daniel prepares his books, sets his alarm clock, and goes to bed early. He tells himself, I have studied. I have practiced. I will do my best. Worrying will not help me. The next morning, Daniel wakes up, eats breakfast, and walks to the exam hall. His hands shake a little, but he takes a deep breath. During the exam, he sees a few difficult questions. For a moment, he feels panic. But then he remembers Ms. Carter saying, worrying is like a rocking chair. It doesn't take you forward. So instead of worrying, he focuses on the questions he knows. Slowly, calmly, he writes his answers. After 2 hours, the exam is finished. Daniel walks out smiling. He doesn't know if he got a perfect score, but he knows one thing. This time, he didn't waste his energy worrying. Vocabulary explanations. Chapter 4. Exam, noun. A formal test of knowledge or skill. Example. The students are preparing for their final exam. Alarm clock, noun. A clock that wakes you up with a sound. Example. I set my alarm clock for 7 a.m. Panic, noun, verb. Sudden, strong fear that makes it hard to think. Example. She panicked when she lost her passport. Deep breath, phrase, inhaling air slowly to relax. Example. Take a deep breath before you speak. Calmly, adverb, in a quiet, relaxed way. Example. He answered the question calmly. Energy, noun. The power to do work or activity. Example. Don't waste your energy on worry. Comprehension questions. Chapter 4. How does Daniel prepare the night before his exam? What happens when he sees difficult questions? Why does Daniel feel proud after the exam? Cultural real-life connection. In many countries, exams are a big source of worry for students. Some even lose sleep because of stress. But teachers often say, a good night's sleep is more important than late-night worrying. In English-speaking cultures, people also use the phrase sleep on it, meaning, don't stress too much at night, just sleep. And tomorrow things will look better. Interactive question. Do you feel nervous before exams? How do you prepare? Share your tips in the comments. Chapter 5. The job interview months later. Daniel graduates from university. Now he wants to apply for a job at an international company. The job interview will be in English. The night before, Daniel feels the old familiar worry rising in his chest. What if I forget my words? What if I make mistakes? But then he remembers everything he has learned. Baya's advice, don't worry so much. The old man's wisdom. Most worries never come true. Ms. Carter's saying, worrying is like a rocking chair. His own exam experience, so instead of worrying, Daniel practices his introduction in front of the mirror. He says, hello, my name is Daniel. I recently graduated from university, and I am very excited about this opportunity. The next day, Daniel walks into the office. The interviewer greets him. Good morning, Daniel. Please have a seat. Daniel takes a deep breath, smiles, and answers the questions as best as he can. He makes a few small mistakes, but he does not panic. He continues speaking, because he knows communication is more important than perfection. At the end, the interviewer says, thank you, Daniel. You did very well. We will contact you soon. When Daniel leaves the office, he feels proud. Whether he gets the job or not, he knows he has learned the most important lesson. Worry less, act more. Vocabulary, explanations, Chapter 5. Apply, verb. To ask formally for a job, school, or opportunity. Example. She applied for a job at a bank. Interview, noun. A meeting where someone asks questions for a job or school. Example. The job interview was difficult. Opportunity, noun. A chance to do something. Example. Studying abroad is a great opportunity. Mistake, noun. Something wrong or incorrect. Example. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. Contact, verb. To communicate with someone. Example. The company will contact him by email. Communication, noun. Sharing ideas through speaking, writing, or gestures. Example. Good communication is more important than perfect grammar. Comprehension questions. Chapter 5. What job does Daniel apply for? How does he practice before the interview? What lesson does Daniel learn after the interview? Cultural, on real-life connection in English-speaking countries, interviews are often seen as a chance to show confidence, not perfection. Many employers believe that a positive attitude and communication skills are more important than perfect language. This is good news for English learners. Don't let worry stop you from trying. Interactive question. Have you ever had an interview in English or another language? How did you feel? Final motivational message. So my friends, what did we learn from Daniel's story? We learned that most worries never come true. Worrying wastes energy and time. Sleep, preparation, and practice are more powerful than worry. Mistakes are part of learning, and communication matters more than perfection. The art of worrying less is not about ignoring problems. It is about focusing on action, preparation, and positivity instead of fear. Remember, Don't let worry control your life. Use your time and energy to practice, grow, and live with confidence. Call to action. Extended. If this story inspired you, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs motivation. Write in the comments, what did you learn from Daniel's story? Do you think you can worry less starting today? Thank you for learning English with me today. Stay positive, stay motivated, and keep improving your English every single day. See you in the next lesson. Bye-bye!